Yensid Organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. Hope you all are having a great day today. Today, we are back at the Star Destroyer project, and I want to turn my attention to the exterior of the ship. So, in the past couple of days, I've been thinking about all of the projects that I want to do here, and I've come to a realization. I have 14 episodes left in this season. I'm planning to go to 50, and this is episode 37. 14 episodes is not a lot of time to get this project more or less finished. And it doesn't necessarily have to be completely finished, but I would like it to be within the realm of finished. And so, saying that, there's a lot of work that needs to be done both inside and particularly outside. I want to do a decent amount of detailing on this ship. And so, that is going to be our primary focus today. Now, there are some things that I want to do on the inside, but we're going to be starting to tackle the enormity of the exterior project today. Where we are going to start is actually down here in these little trenches. Oh, yeah, that's right. The room came through the edge. Well, we'll be cleaning that up. So several episodes ago, feels like half a year ago, we played around with some possible details for the vertical walls here on the Star Destroyer. And I realized in doing this that I have a little bit of a focus problem when it comes to doing details in Minecraft. And by focus, I mean I tend to look really, really closely at things that are only ever going to be viewed from far away. So, like, for instance, I look at something like this, block here of polished andesite, and I go, oh, well, that's really, really busy. You've got all the extra lines and all the details. If we zoom out, suddenly that doesn't make nearly as much of a difference from out here. I mean, yes, you can still see it, but it's not nearly as prominent as it is when you're right up this close. So I want to I want to see if I can play around with some things today and basically relax my obsessiveness with things looking perfect. I have been spending some time wandering around the Hermitcraft Season 9 World download and just looking at what they do in terms of, like, detail and texturing, things that are done, from a distance. And while I am nowhere near the level of builder that the Hermits are, I've definitely learned some things from looking at all the different builds. So, I want to start, and I want to play with this little area, and I've got some ideas, and I'm going to simplify this a little bit. So rather than trying to do lots of different things, I think that I'm going to try to simplify it. Right now, I have a ridiculous number of polished diorite slabs. Probably work in some other slabs here as well, but I have a couple ideas that I want to play around with, and so I'm going to get to that, and we're just going to see how it goes. Welcome back, everybody. So, a little bit of proof of concept here. So I have done a little bit of detailing work, and so let's take a look at some different things that I played with, and then we're going to look at this from a distance. So the first thing that I did was I took our polished diorite here in a 2-wide line and ran it all the way down to the end. So, did that, got that in. Then I went in and did a second line up top, but this one I came around and broke up with some other colors. And so we've got the polished blackstone up here that I did in a couple different lines, and then, as you can see, that kind of breaks apart here and there, stops and starts. And it was as I started looking at this that I realized that a half slab doesn't look great from a distance. So I slabbed the bottom, and I only did the outer edge because you can't really see. I mean, I guess you can if we sort of fly out here and come around. No, I'm way too high. Like, you can see, but it's not horrible, and then that saves a little bit on resources. So then as I was looking at that, I realized that this single line of slabs up here also needed to be thickened. So I did that. And yeah, was pretty happy with where that went. And then started playing around with some texturing within the walls. So one of the things that I did, the first thing that I did was the blackstone walls running from top to bottom. And actually, I think that, having done this, let's go up there. I think that I actually want to take this one out from the wall so it's not actually connected there. So let's do that real quick here. So, nope, that's the wrong level. Oh, no, that's got to go there. Yeah, half slab. Oh, right, because this is only half a slab thick. And guess what? I won't be able to stand on that. Gonna need that anyway. There we go. And then somewhere up here will be that slab, which we need to fix. Did I get that? I hope so. I'm stuck. I can't get off. There we go. I've lost a wall somewhere. Where did... no, I was gonna say it fell inside. No, it couldn't have fallen inside. It's gotta still be up there. Where did that go? I'm very confused. I'm so confused. It's not in my inventory. It's nowhere to be found. Oh, there it was. Found it. There we go. Okay, that was a lot of waffling around. Yeah, that looks better. Pull it away from the wall a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so have that, which I like, and that gives some vertical relief to everything. And then I started playing around with texture. So I did a little slab of andesite in there, and then realized that you really can't see that, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So then I did some light gray concrete, which originally I had put between these two rows of slabs, and I didn't really like how it looked there, so I put it through one of the layers of slabs, and I think that works better. And then I also came down here and did something a little bit darker and took the cyan terracotta and ran it from floor to ceiling to give a darker panel there. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump into FreeCam here. And now we are going to back way off, and we'll see how all of this works. So when we come all the way back here, you can kind of see this line up here, it's a little thin. When you look at it over here, the thickness really makes a difference there. And you can kind of see that with the black as well. You can barely see the andesite. So the andesite, that's a no-go. I'm not going to do any more with that. The light gray concrete, really can't see that either. So I think that is a no as well. I do like the cyan terracotta, and I think what I could probably do is I could also use some gray concrete, and I think that would be nice. I think that breaks up the endless amount of stone that we have. So I think some things like that will look good. And I think I could do like half panels, so like floor to like halfway up. But I also think like the full panel looks pretty good. So I think that I think that I have a pretty good start here. Now, I haven't played around with some other things that might have a little bit more texture to them, like iron bars and things like that. And I think that might add some nice detail. You know what? Saying that, let's do hold on. Okay, iron bars acquired. Where should we stick some of these? Let's go up here. And let's do 3. You know what? Let's just do 2. And then let's bring that along here a little ways. Now, I think the part of the problem with this might be, I think it might be too light. But it's going to give some... Ooh, actually, no. I really like that. It gives a little bit of contrast to what we have. And because it's such a detailed block, I think that it actually pulls the light really nicely when you look at it. And it kind of... It almost has like a little bit of a shimmer effect to it. I think that it does for the wall what I hoped the andesite would. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think we can use that. And so then the only other thing that I am not sure of is this enough detail? So one thing I want to do for sure is this lower line, I want to break this up. I don't like the entire line all the way from here to the back of the ship. I think it needs to be broken up with some different height variations and maybe some different colors, and I think that will help. So I think what I'm going to do is I think that I am going to take what I've done here and apply it to this whole length of the ship here, and then once that's done, we'll see what it looks like, and we'll see if it looks like it needs any more detail or if we're good to go. And can leave it at that. And then, of course, we have the entire rest of the ship to do. So, yeah. And then I guess the only other thing to think about, and I'm not going to do this right now because this is kind of a different part of the ship to work on, and it's not my area of focus for right now, is this floor here, and if we want to do any kind of detailing with that, or if we want to leave that off for right now. So, I'm going to get to work on the rest of this, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, I've spent several hours on this, and I think I'm way overthinking it. So I have gone through, I've done detailing on all of this, tried a couple new things. I worked in, where did it go? I worked in... Oh, right there. I tried some deep slate tile. And I also did deep slate tile as some of the ridges and replaced the diorite. And textured the walls, did all the stuff we talked about in the last clip. And this is what I've got so far. And I'm obsessing over it, and I feel like it doesn't look great. Well, I don't think it looks bad, per se. But I don't know. I think I'm overthinking all of this, and I don't know what looks good and what doesn't look good. The more I look at it, the less I like the diorite, but I feel like that higher contrast might be good, and then I just don't know how much detail to put in all of this. Is this enough? Is it too much? Is it not enough? So, I need to leave this and come back to it. So I want to work on a couple other things, get a fresh look at this, maybe not even come back to this episode and hear your feedback. What you think works, what you think doesn't work. I would definitely be interested in hearing that. But yeah, I want to sit with this a little bit more before I do, the entire rest of the Star Destroyer and the other side. By the way, did you notice something over here? I hid the farm. It's not great. Like, it's obvious that the line changes a little bit here, but I don't think it's, yeah, I don't think it's so, out of place that it doesn't seem to fit. So, anyway, you might have seen this earlier in the episode, but I was playing around with a little bit of, some color variation here on the body of the Star Destroyer, and I was playing around with using some cyan terracotta, not spectator mode, cyan terracotta on the edges to give a little bit more definition. As I was looking at this last week, I was like, a lot of, because it's all stone, and obviously, there's going to be detailing work that goes into this, but because right now it's all stone, I feel like you need something that's going to add a little bit of definition to the edges. And I really like the cyan terracotta. I think it's going to pop out those edges really nicely. I ran out, that's why I only went that far. Yeah, so I think that I want to do that. Of course, cyan means I'm going to need both green and blue dye, and so I think that what I want to do is I actually want to pop back inside the Star Destroyer, and can't go through that way. We'll go around. I want to do a I want to put in a little bit of a farming area. Probably, I think that I was planning to put it over here. So I had intended to do some crop farms like I have in the industrial area, but I think that I'm also going to put a little bit of a cactus farm in here, just so that when I'm in the area, I can be generating cactus, and then I can be trading from the clerics to get the lapis for the blue dye. But yeah, I think that will be, villagers? Uh-oh, I'm falling. Oh, they're still there. Okay. I don't know why I could see this villager, but not these villagers. I also don't know what is going on with this iron farm, because when I first built it, it worked just fine. Now, I've got to be close for it to work, so I don't really know what's going on there. And no iron golems have spawned while we've been standing here, so that's kind of interesting. What time is it? It is morning, so they should... No, maybe they can't sleep. I don't know. Anyway, getting distracted. Okay, so yeah, so I want to get some crop farms put in, and then a cactus farm as well, just so that we can be passively gathering some resources as I'm working on everything else. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. So, we had the previous episode where we were working on the aquariums, and we have no dolphins, and I still don't have a solution for that. But we did this down here. Well, I was over here after the episode, and I was doing something. I came over to look at the axolotls, and I came over here, and there's currently not one that we can see swimming around. There was one swimming around where we could see, and I was like, what happened? I had 20 blue axolotls. This is not good. Oh yeah, there it is. There, we got one swimming around. I was absolutely panicked, thinking that I had lost my blue axolotls. Yeah, they're all up here in the corner. I think they sense food over here and are trying to get to it. So, I'm not entirely sure what to do about this problem. I'm thinking that maybe it's because there's glass here. They think they can get over there even though they can't. So, I want to try building a wall out here to kind of cut off and maybe make it like 2 or 3 thick, so that they don't actually think they can get through, because, yeah, that's kind of annoying. So, anyway, all right, farm building, yeah, and then we'll be back. Okay, I may have gone a little bit overboard. So my plan was to take my little tiered crop farm that I built in the industrial area, which was 4 plots high and it was 2 wide. So I was just going to do 2, 2, 2, and 2, or 4, 4, anyway. Yeah, so I decided, well, if I was going to do it, you know, I might as well go big with it, and then I would have plenty of crops. So I decided that I would make it 8 high. And so I was planning to do, so this is a module right here. So I was planning to do 2 of those modules, 8 high, so that I could have one tower for every crop. But then I decided, well, you know, if you're gonna fill the space, you know, you might as well go big with it. So I decided to do 1 module for every crop. So that is 16 stacks of every crop, for all 4 that we can plant and harvest this way. I don't have them all planted. I was working on it, but I have run out of time. Yeah, just building this took way longer than I thought. Well, it wouldn't have taken way longer if I had stuck with my original plan. But as I kept thinking about it, I was like, you know, I have all this space in here. I might as well make use of it. So, yeah, big, ridiculous farm. Now, I would show you how it works. However, I hate redstone. So, I copied what I had from the farm in the industrial district, but I had to change things up slightly to get them to work in here. Unfortunately, when I did that, I inadvertently created a burnout clock here. And which I actually didn't realize. What I discovered in my testing was that when I hit the button, all of the dispensers were dispensing water except for this tower. Only this one. All the other 8 worked, or 7 worked. This one didn't. So I started playing around and walked away from it, came back, changed the setup, changed everything how I did, and could not figure it out. So I walked away from it. I said, you know what, I'm not finishing this today. I'm going to do other things that need to be done. And then when I came back, I came back in my testing, I discovered I was getting a burnout clock, and I couldn't figure out what that was coming from. Well, it turns out it's this right here that is creating the burnout clock. So what I need to do is I need to raise this whole thing by 1 block so that I can put a repeater into here to turn this torch off, and then that will get rid of the burnout, and then everything should work. Fingers crossed. I hope. I hate redstone. So, next episode, I will get this thing fully stocked up. I will get the redstone fixed, and then we'll give it a run. I also don't have a wall over here. We'll deal with that later. You probably saw when I popped into free cam. I have... Whoa! I also built a cactus farm. Didn't go nearly as overboard with it as I did in my industrial area. So, but we have 60 things of cactus growing there, and that will more than supply what I should need here in the end. So, yeah, because using this for cyan dye for cyan terracotta. So it had been my hope to work on more detailing on the exterior of the Star Destroyer, but unfortunately, like I said, got distracted, had some other things that I had to do. Where's the exit? No, it's not over here. I know somewhere I have a hole in the ceiling that I can get out of, but I don't know where it is. There it is. Yeah, so I had hoped to do some more lighting. I had hoped to do some detailing, playing around a little bit more with that, but I have unfortunately run out of time. So we will have to return to that next episode. But it has been a couple of days since I have looked at this, and I want to see, coming in with some fresh eyes, if I'm happy with this. And I tell you what, now that I come back to it, now that I've been away from it for a couple of days, I think this looks pretty good. I do want to break up the diorite line here on the bottom. And I don't know, like, break it up with, you know, some other color, you know, either the black stone or the deep slate, and probably put some gaps in it as well. I don't know if I necessarily want it to run the whole length of the ship, but yeah, I think this looks good. I think the level of detail is enough. I'm still not sure what I want to do about the ceiling and floor here, but yeah, I'm happy with this. I think there's enough. Would definitely be interested to hear your comments on it as well. But yeah, I think we can take this and we can just run it the whole length of the ship. So guys, I think that is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe and make sure you click that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. Be sure to follow me on social media. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.